In the name of Allah swear.
Do in the name of Allah swear.
That the evidence I shall give before this committee.
That the evidence I shall give before this committee.
Touching the matter in issue.
Touching the matter in issue.
Shall be the truth.
Shall be the truth.
The whole truth.
The whole truth.
And nothing but the truth.
And nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me
Allah.
Inshallah.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Honorable Lariba Abudu, this is your second appearance before this committee in this 8th Parliament. Yes. Barely 2 years ago, you appeared before us. In the last 2 years, you've also been a deputy minister. You don't want to talk about that one?
Sorry, Mr. Chairman, I think it escaped me. Actually, President appointed me Deputy Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection in 2018, in 2021. Yeah, and today I'm here as the Minister Designate for the same ministry. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Very well.
Chairman, let me thank you. We're having a small call.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
And Chairman, I know that the nominee having been elected as Member of Parliament has satisfied the minimum legal and constitutional requirement to be minister. Is that right?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
So now we should wait when you get to the Ministry for Gender and Children. We will see what you can do to improve the quality of life of the Ghanaian woman. Should we expect something positive from you?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I will do my best.
Your best to improve the quality of life of the women.
And children and vulnerable as well.
Chairman, just to note it for our record, there are many who compare Ghana to the East African countries, whether it's Uganda or it's... The Constitution came into force in 1993. Enact legislation regulating the property rights of spouses. Chairman, we have failed to do so as a house. And I'm urging my colleague, the member for Wale Wale. Chairman, I want to narrow my questions to her constituency. Have you visited Wale Wale lately?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Have you watched the factory, whether it's watermelon or not, the factory to the right where we're going and the state of it? Have you watched it? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I watched it actually.
Are you satisfied with the state of work?
Well, Mr. Chairman, it was non-existent. We didn't even have a block, but now at least we have seen a structure there. So I have the confidence that...
You are happy with the uncompleted structure?
Well, it employed some youth. Some youth were being employed to do the work there. So at least there's hope. We definitely to come into being.
Chairman, I was in Janga and I see respected, I hope I can address him as I used to know him, Alhaji Jackson, the Mamprose Chief for Greater Accra Region, together with my master Alhaji Salifu David of Nalergu and Alasan Chirpanga of Bolga behind you. I drove to Janga Festival at the invitation of the paramount chief of that area. Now, the construction of the road, as you turn from Nasia, are you happy with the state of the road? To feed us with it with evidence, we only can uphold the requirement under Article 94 of the Constitution that once you qualify to be Member of Parliament, you meet the minimum requirement to be Minister of State. So, Honorable Lariba, I wish you every success at the Ministry for Gender and Children Affairs. I pray that you won't be an absentee minister and that you also tell the President that you are in Wale Wale or in United Kingdom or somewhere not able to perform your duties. Chairman, thank you very much.
Yes, Honorable.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm very grateful, Leader.
Across the country, innovations to bring back our social welfare centers. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If I'm giving the note, school feeding, as you said, we all know there are challenges. But I want to assure the committee that already in the ministry, we have taken steps to address some of the challenges. The ministry, in collaboration with the Vice President's office, we are doing digitization. We are enrolling all schools on the digital platform and all caterers and beneficiaries. So this alone is going to reduce all the hurdles. And also, all women that have challenges, we have met them, myself and my caretaker minister, and then we have looked at the challenges. Those who have genuine challenges, we will try to solve them. And then those that we think that there were some faults somewhere, we will explain to them for them to understand. Thank you. On part of the social welfare, it's true, a lot of social welfare interventions come from donor supports. So my ministry, we are looking at it. Let's look at the foster aspect of it. We want to keep children within the family system. That will go and help the social welfare to alleviate its problems. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Are you done? Very well. Yes, any more? Yes.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Just something quick on the CV so that our records can be accurate. Mr. Chair, on page 2, I see in the employment history, the last 3 lines is capturing 1979 to 2000. Honorable nominee, do you have the dates for the last 2 items? If you have, can you supply the specific?
Have plans to be able to curb the menace. You can say you want to stop it, or you can stop it completely, but at least we are doing a lot at the ministry. We are doing sensitization. We are building capacity of a lot of women to know their rights, to the extent that we even have an app that we call BOAM app, the Orange Support Center, at the Secretariat. And this app is a toll-free app. So if the violence starts in the home, we have been educating women, call that app. We'll be there to help you with the police, either to rescue you or to make the police take the case. So a lot of women have been calling, and those who call, we are always there to help them. So we are going around talking to school children, women, about this particular app that they have to use for early intervention and prevention and protection. Thank you.
Very well. Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. First of all, let me congratulate you, my dear sister, Honorable Lariba, on your nomination. Mr. Chairman, I represented my minister on the committee on this prices of foodstuffs, just as you did for your minister. And we'll be having meetings with the market women, left, right, center, together with the Ministry of Agri, Ministry of Trade and Industry, and so on and so forth. So
a bill has been introduced before this parliament to criminalize witchcraft accusation. This bill clearly falls within the mandate of your ministry. Would your ministry support such initiative to provide a long-term policy solution to the problem?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Definitely, we will look at the bill, engage a lot of stakeholders, and if they need that, we will do that, because it is not a good thing. It's the human, especially to women. I will support it genuinely. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. And then secondly, one other major social protection matters that I've observed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think we need to sensitize the public on it. if there's a case of rape and then you report to the hospital, we have the social welfare in the hospitals. And at time when you report to them, they would lead you, guide you, and then you'll be treated free with a police report. So already we are doing something. So when you bring the bill, we'll all look at it. If there's the need, then the policy will be done. Thank you.
Look at your CV, page 2, under the heading leadership positions held. You state that between 2016 and 2017, you served as a member, MPP Manifesto Committee on Gender. Is that correct?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Now, what were some of the highlights in the MPP manifesto, since you were a member with specific responsibilities?
That's me right. So I would like to say that we all have to sit down and look at Kaya, especially me and you coming from the north. There's a lot we have to sit there and look at it and then come out with solutions.
Yes, Hajia.
And I'm aware of your personal interventions at some levels. I'm also aware of your extensive background in special education. On that background, what plans do you have as the Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection to leverage on partnership with the Ministry of Education to ensure that Ghanaian children that are born disabled at the outset have the opportunity to access pre-primary education, primary education, GHS, and eventually enjoy the free SHS policy and further to tertiary? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I will say let's make our schools disabled friendly. Our structures should be disabled friendly. At least if it's friendly, definitely they can. Some of them, it's difficult for them to get to the classes. So that's one. And the other one, I would say we should do it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's one of the key bills that I will look at, because it looks like now we're all yearning for the affirmative action bill. And I know my president will be very confident to leverage on that, because he's the gender champion of our time. So the bill is in cabinet. We will draw it in collaboration with our men to support us pass the bill. I think when we come together, we can do it. So I would definitely knock on your doors to help me so that we can pass the bill. Thank you so much.
Ajay, I wish you all the best.
Yes, Honorable Minister for Communication.
Hajia, congratulations on your nomination, and I think it is a testimony of how ably you manage the affairs of the gender ministry while your minister was indisposed, and how well you worked with Cecilia Dapa. So I must congratulate you for your nomination. And we know that barely two are determined to ensure that as many young girls as possible get computer literacy and digital skills training to enable them compete in the fourth industrial revolution that is unfolding. We work with children ages 9 to 16, and we have selected programs for senior high schools and the universities as well. What assurance do you give us that you collaborate with my ministry to ensure that as many young girls as possible across the length and breadth of this country are giving the cutting-edge digital skills education that they need to be able to compete? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I give my colleague the assurance when I get the note. Thank you.
You're done, right? Yes, I'll come to the male MPs again.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman, for the opportunity. Let me say congratulations to the honorable nominee. We wish you the very best of luck. I was going to start by finding out if you knew the whereabouts of your previous substantive minister at the time that you acted as minister, but the Honorable Oslo has helped us with information that she was indisposed. I didn't know she was indisposed. I thought she was just absent. But thanks for that information that has been provided. On that note, I want to start from your CV. 2017-2018, you indicate on your CV that you are a coordinator for special needs education at the Ghana Education Service, Northern Region. I want to find out what your experience and contribution were as coordinator for special needs education. What was the experience like and what contribution did you make? All right, thank you. The minority was not part of her vetting, and so, like Honorable Osler said, if perhaps we're part, there are some questions that wouldn't have been necessary again, but we now have the opportunity to be part of this vetting. Mr. Chairman, on the nominee's CV, page 2 again, she indicates that according to this report, for those tricycles, Mr. Chairman, I want the honorable nominee to tell us the role she played in the disappearance of these tricycles and the indebtedness that is against her name per this audit report, and if she has paid back the money to the state. Thank you.
Can I rearrange the question this way? Are you aware of the Auditor General's report she read?
No, Mr. Chairman, I'm not aware.
The police CID wrote that some people should answer questions to them. Did the police invite you?
No, Mr. Chairman, up to date, nobody has invited me.
What do you know about that incident? Can you tell us?
The Chairman, I think I was in Northern Development Authority as the Deputy CEO. I wasn't the CEO, and I wasn't in charge of tricyclists. So I have no idea actually what my honorable colleague is alleging. I don't know anything about, because nobody has ever invited me in connection with this. I'm just hearing it today. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I just want to remind the nominee and perhaps for the record also that the Auditor General's report is a property and a document of this House, and I'm sure that it will be useful in our considerations.
Yes, Honorable Obama.
Done, Mr. Chairman. My last question, please. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I also, and I'm asking...
For what? I don't know.
Yes, Honorable Obama.
Thank you very much. Honorable colleague, Honorable, right here, please. Congratulations. Your nomination is in respect of 3 very important sectors: gender, children, and social protection. Very weighty. And lately, from 2021 Statistical Service report that came. There are about 80,000. Let me read to your hearing, please.
Chairman, Burton would have to do a sensitization again to sensitize the children in schools, the bad habits of betting. Actually, you can say, well, there are those who are 18 and above, but the young ones, at least, we should be able to sensitize them against betting. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Chairman.
Honorable Zuweira.
You know, Mr. Chairman, thank you very much for the opportunity. You would have done me a great disservice if you hadn't called me. You know, I want to make a confession before I don't have a question, but I need to eulogize my sister. I've been receiving congratulatory messages. Yesterday, someone called me and said, "Oh, Haja, congratulations." And I said, "Oh, thank you very much. I take it on behalf of my sister." So, my namesake, Zuweira, congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
And Mr. Chairman, I'm not easily intimidated. But I think this morning I felt a little bit intimidated with the solidarity that our brothers and sisters have shown my dear sister. And Uncle Jackson, he is a common face for all of us. We all know him. The only one I haven't seen is Abuba of Nasona fame. Yeah. But our brothers were all here. Honorable Amin Anta, Honorable Tampole, Honorable Salaganov, sitting to my left. And so it's just to say, well done. It's a testimony of who you are. It's a testimony of how your people feel about you. And it's a testimony for women. And so when Honorable Tampole was regaling us with the list of northern women making us proud, I had a nostalgic moment when he mentioned Honorable Hawa, the late Hawa Yakubu. We all know what she represented for the politics of this country and the northern part of this country. I didn't hear, I heard the name of Honorable Alima, now Excellency, but I didn't hear the name of my sister, Honorable Otiko Jaba, another fine minister that we produced from the north. And yeah, so she's my sister, and she did a good job as a minister. Yeah, and so we need to, yeah. So yeah, the NDC ministers, we had Honorable Joyce Taribawa. Yeah, Deputy Minister did a fine job at Transport Ministry. But you see, he didn't, where is Honorable Tampole? He didn't say anything about me. I mean, yeah, my namesake. Yeah, so honorable, you know, it's the name. You know, there's something in the name, Zuweira. It means homeliness, it means good neighborliness. In Arabic, they say it's a beautiful flower. And I'm sure I've been beautiful since I've been here, and she has been beautiful. So we know that she's going to take these beautiful attributes to the gender ministry, and it will become a showcase ministry for all of us. I look forward to supporting, assisting in whatever way possible to make you achieve the best of the best. Thank you and congratulations once again.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Very well, yes, Honorable.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning to our nominee, and congratulations, Hajia.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
My question has to do with nutrition. The school feeding program was meant, I believe the objectives are better known than yourself. But the school feeding program was one aspect of being able to improve nutrition and give the children a meal in school. I know that it is faced with challenges, but what can you do What can your ministry do now that you have the power? You are moving from a deputy to a substantive to be able to improve nutrition in children, in vulnerable children especially, but it cuts across. I'm saying this because you and I know that it affects their cognitive development, and anemia is a serious situation very often that children face, children below the age of 5 years. And what measures can you take at your ministry to be able to improve this, maybe working with the Ministry of Health and Education, by being able to improve nutrition, one, improve the circumstances that would minimize anemia, which now lead to other challenges and problems in children growing up. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm looking at domestication. Let's domesticate our food, the local food that we have in our backyard. Like, we coming from the northern region, there's a lot. You have the cowpea, you can blend with maize, you have a lot of nutritious food that we have over there. So we'll look at domestication and see how best we can also help our farmers to increase their yearly yield. And also we are in partnership with WFP, who are trying to add some vitamins to the food that they will supply to the schools. So very soon you'll see a lot of domestication food that the school children will use. Thank you.
All right. We look forward to that, because Hajia, you know that as members of parliament, we have a bird's eye view over everything that happens in our constituencies. And so we will be watching. And whenever you need our support and cooperation, I believe you have it. My second question has to do with what programs will your ministry have to support women, rural women in business? You and I know that a lot of our women are traders. They work in the informal sector. But sometimes we as MPs tend to have our own support. We are supporting the women, trying to give them small loans and so on. But what program can the ministry have to actually support these women in business? Because when they are able to be empowered at that level, you know, we teach somebody how to fish, not always giving them fish. We've talked about special needs. You are a special needs coordinator in education. But there are people who have special needs cutting across even as they are older, because naturally grow. Now that you are more empowered, what policy changes will you make to the special needs policies that currently are, so that they will be more impactful and more beneficial, cutting across all districts and constituencies? Thank you.
Well, I will look at the existing policies already, and then government to have other policies geared towards the disabled. We will look at it and then act accordingly. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Nilante, you came in late, so I'll give you only 2.
Ajia, congratulations. My first question has to do with Ajia. When was the last time you visited Old Fadama?
Old Fadama?
Yes. You don't know Old Fadama? Where you
if you say Abudu,
where you call Abudu? It's not called Abudu. It's called Old Fadama. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was there even the day before yesterday.
You were there?
Yes, my brother.
What peculiarity, let me say, of the girls there did you observe as troubling, and as a minister will be your first point of call?
At Abugoshi. Oh, Old
yes,
Fadama.
my constituency, Old Fadama.
Yeah.
Abubloshin, let me tell you, Abubloshin is the town behind the Accra Brewery. That place is Old Fadama. From there we moved to have New Fadama, where the national chief imam is, his constituency. But Old Fadama, that is Old Fadama, not Abubloshin, and not Sodom and Gomorrah. It's Old Fadama.
The question again.
Ajia, what I'm saying is that you went there and you saw our girls there. What one significant or peculiar problem do these girls have that will be your first point of attention as a minister?
Accommodation and even place of convenience.
Thank you. The second one has to do with the increasing incident of child prostitution. Very important for me. What will your ministry be doing in order to minimize the absence?
When I'm giving the notes, as you rightly made mention, I'll collaborate with my colleague minister so that we'll see how best we can educate them, and also if there will be a law binding it in the country, I think I'm in your hands so that we can ban it in the country. Thank you.
I wish you well, and I wish a successful tenure as minister when we approve you. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Honorable Chief Whip. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Honorable Lariba. Mr. Chairman, before I just let me just make this statement that we in the minority are very concerned about the number of ministers that we currently have, especially with the current economic challenges that we have. We are looking up to His Excellency the President to take steps to reduce the size of the government. And unfortunately or coincidentally, we have two nominees that we have to add onto the list. But the challenge we have is that the gender ministry is a very sensitive ministry without a minister. And we are compelled to vet ministers that are supposed to go there. That notwithstanding, we still hope that the President will take steps to reduce the size of government. I can assure the public that if this was any ministry, not the gender ministry, it would have been very difficult for us in the minority to be seen vetting to add the number of ministers. But the sensitivity of that ministry and the challenges that it's going through compels us to vet a minister and a deputy. Originally, I didn't really have much to ask you, but during the vetting, some issues came up, and I just needed some clarifications from you. Have you ever been involved in a share butter business? Or share not business?
In my locality, I buy share nuts. All year through, I buy share nuts.
So obviously, I know you know our colleague, Honorable John Deba.
A member of parliament, a colleague member of parliament.
Was there any time that you had to transact share business together with him?
There was a time that he and some people from my constituency, a boy from my constituency, were doing share nut business.
And were you involved or mediating between them?
I wasn't involved in that transaction.
But do you know Yakubu Rabiu?
Very well.
He's a share nut business person.
We do all those share nut business together.
And you also know Amadou Martini?
A sister's son in Walwale who normally buy my share nuts for me.
Are you aware that they have done some business with Honorable John Jabbar, that there's some money outstanding?
I'm aware that there was some share nut business and some money was outstanding. And even the matter, I think it went to court. And then I learned it has been resolved. Nobody has ever called me to court to say anything. So, and later I heard it has been resolved, and that ended it.
And you didn't have any direct role to play in that particular business that they had with Honorable John Dapa, even though you are saying that it has been resolved in court?
No.
Okay. Now, I mean, the school feeding, how much do we pay per child for the school feeding? Are you aware?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
How much is it?
79 pesos.
I know you are a mother and you go to the market with let me just run it up to 1 cedi. That would 1 cedi, you think that there can be any nutritional meal provided for even a child of 3 years or even 5 years?
Chairman, honestly, I would say no, but I think government is increasing it.
Now that you are going as a minister, what argument are you going to put in place to get this reviewed from this meager 1 Ghana cedi?
The price has been there for quite a number of years now and actually need to be reviewed. And also, things have changed, so the government has taken cognizance of that, and that's why it's increasing the amount this year. Thank you.
Don't you think that if we cannot increase the amount, maybe we should reduce the number of schools and rather use the little resources that we have to do it well, rather than try to spread thinly and virtually pretend to be feeding the children, but rather, I don't know, for lack of a better word, poisoning them?
Encourage that we even increase or we add more schools, because it's one flagship program that helps a lot of parents and children as well to stay in school. So I will liaise with government and then let them understand that we need to increase the price of the feeding and also even include more schools. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Maybe let me just ask you this as last. So, in your view, about how much money will be realistic amount per child for some nutritional, what do you call, meal?
Mr. Chairman, I haven't actually looked at it, but the committee, gender committee, is looking at it, and they will come out with a very good, a very reasonable price. Thank you.
I thought you were the deputy minister, and almost everything that happens there, you participate in it.
Chairman, but in terms of the amount that should be increased, we are still in the process.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much.
Yes, Honorable Deputy Leader. Honorable Abudu Lariba Zuweira. You have on your CV.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It depends on the individual. To me, life was normal as a deputy minister. And then I was taking instructions from my minister and then my caretaker minister now. So life was normal to me.
Well, there were a number of times that I was seeing you in the chamber. Sometimes I would say you were dejected and sad. But at the same time, as you are describing it, life was normal. What are your plans for your deputy minister? Now that you are going to be a minister, I want you to tell Ghanaians what plans you have for your deputy minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My deputy minister, Mr. Chairman, to me now, our laws frown on it, and our values and traditions also frown on it. So to me now, there's no law on it. So I'm not actually.
Okay. I get the impression that you are not willing to go further on that, so I will leave it there. And please, these are my comments, not questions. The school feeding entrepreneurs, they are really suffering. And you know they are suffering. And it's affecting our kids. So please do whatever you can within your power as the sector minister to ensure regular payment. The validation of their... Maybe do. The children need nutritious food, okay, and nutrition is very critical. The ladies who cook are complaining bitterly. We don't want a situation where you will tell them that it's not you but the Minister of Finance. We don't want you to say that as for me, I don't hold the purse, but it's the Minister of Finance. We don't want you to say that. We would hold you, Parliament will hold you responsible. 100%.
I have given assurance to my honorable colleagues that I will always follow up an early payment. Thank you. And I know, as you said, the finance minister is listening to me, and he that he should release the monies in time so that the caterers will cook the food for our kids. Thank you. Thank you.
The deputy leader, rather than speaking to the finance minister, is asking the poor minister to be the one. You have control. You have control over the finance minister and his budget, not the minister. Very well. I have just a few questions. Do you know that there's one old people's home in Ghana? One. Are you aware of that?
Yeah, I think in Ashanti region.
Do you know that it is at Bekwai?
No, Mr. Chairman. I know it's in Ashanti, but not.
You see, Ashanti region has many, many beautiful towns and districts. That it is at Bekwai. And are you aware that your ministry hardly provides support for that old people's